My mother died when I was 16. My dad married another woman 2 years later. My grandparents, my dad's parents, hate my stepmother. I really don't like her either. Even after my half-siblings were born, my grandparents never warmed up to her. My grandparents are quite wealthy. My father has been banking on this inheritance for a while. He has even been not paying into his retirement because he's so sure that he will inherit the millions. I just found out on Saturday that I'm getting the majority of my grandparents' estate. My father is getting a token amount of $50,000 so he can't dispute it. My grandparents made me promise not to give out any money after, and I intend to keep my word. But I do feel really guilty that my father just spends his money as it's coming in because he's relying on money he won't get. I also found out my dad is in a lot of debt. AITA for not telling him?
NTA, but you should talk to your grandparents and make sure they tell him before they pass and while they're still in the right minds. Maybe even have an attorney present. If he's as irresponsible as you say he is, then he will likely try to sue you for money when they pass. Families have been torn apart over sums totaling much less. Please protect yourself here.
NTA. Your grandparents know what's up. It probably has a bit to do with the stepmother, but most likely your grandparents know what your dad's like with money and they don't want their hard-earned and saved cash going to someone who will throw it away on dumb shit and be broke again in no time. Your father's irresponsibility is not your responsibility in this instance.
NTA. Your grandparents should be honest with your dad. By not telling him, they are setting you up for a lot of drama after they die, and that's not fair to you. Your dad shouldn't be spending recklessly and counting on inheritance money to come in and fix everything. That's ridiculously irresponsible. Everyone in this situation is an asshole other than you.
NTA. I'd ask your grandpa to break the news to your dad since otherwise you'll be left with the fallout. Very unfortunate situation.
NTA. It's not *or fight the argument that would happen the minute you told him, and frankly if he's being so casual about his future I'm not sure he'd be safe to tell. Take him as an object lesson, though work hard to ensure you have a safe future, cause nothing is certain.
If your grandparents aren't giving your father a heads up, so he can plan better, they are. They don't have to say you're getting most of it, but even saying, FYI we have plans for most of our estate. Don't expect much. Especially when children, even adult children, are involved, he and they might think their college fund or house down payments might come from the inheritance. It's fair they know what's up.
NTA. But your grandparents are kind of cruel for letting him keep digging a deeper and deeper hole all the while knowing what he expects. They should go ahead and tell him so he can plan accordingly.
Going against the grain and saying I think people are confusing what you promised and what you didn't. First, you are not tough for being in the situation you are in. I don't understand why your grandparents, and it seems you too, have it out for your father and his wife, but I must assume these are good reasons. This is not your question though. Your question is are you the asshole for not telling him what's coming, Here is how you described the promise you made, and my grandparents made me promise not to give out any money after and I intend to keep my word. You didn't promise to not give your dad a heads up that he's in for a world of shit of his own making, so why don't you? Are you asking to have a worse relationship with your father? If you know he's banking on this money and spending irresponsibly because of his sense of entitlement, all reasons why he is what do you think he's going to say when he realizes that you've been hiding this from him?
NTA. I would definitely convey your concerns about the fallout with your grandparents. After they're gone, they won't have to deal with the drama, but it's not fair for you. Maybe find out if you're legally obligated to disclose how much you inherit. Or if there's a way your dad can find out. Either way, it will suck for you. Money always causes rifts. Both sides of my family left things very crappy for us regarding inheritance. Your dad's attitude is exactly why they don't want to give him money. It's a tough decision. You're between a rock and a hard place. Unless you're okay with no money coming back to you, you could lend it to your dad, but you may be faced with him continuously using you to pay his debts. If he's been this careless with his savings, he probably wouldn't pay you back with a signed contract. I hope your grandparents are prepping you to handle the money and whatnot. Good luck.